My name is Deb Silver, and I'm 47, and I live outside of Mahone Bay in a rural area, and my teenager and my husband of 21 years. And I'm here to share my story. On top of all that, I am an addict, which is hard to say. It's a big swallow. Most of my life for the last 3 decades, I've tried numerous times to stop and I failed. I'm really good at failing, but failing forward is always key. And finally, a little over a year ago, I'd had enough. I was done. And I stopped, and I haven't looked back. I've completely transformed myself and my life. And I think I'm becoming the best version of me. And for the first time that I can remember, I'm proud, and I have self-worth, and I can walk with my head held up. So I'm here to share my story, hoping that maybe I can inspire someone else, because I know there's more of us out there, and maybe help them have the strength to make that first step. And I'm not positive why, but I started my addictive behavior of looking for outside external vices. And it went from a number of things, because I had 3 pregnancies throughout my life, and thank God I didn't drink through them. But I found other ways to externally push emotions and traumas down. Throughout the years, it would be cigarettes, marijuana, shopping, sex. Oh my goodness! Always my favorite was booze. That was always my go-to, and that was the hardest to stop. That was the scariest, was to stop that glass of wine, that shot of vodka. Nobody actually knew how bad it was, not even my husband, which is scary. I hid it very well. Everything looked great from the outside. It looked like I had a wonderful life, which I do. I'm grateful for everything and everyone in my life, but I couldn't face or cope with things that were buried deep down inside. And, sometimes I'd keep an even buzz going all day and pass out early on the sofa. And sometimes it would get pretty messy, and I would wake up trying to piece my night together, and do the walk of shame downstairs, where I'd have to look in my husband's eyes, and it was hard. But even harder than that was to look in my teenager's face if she had been up and saw some of my actions the night before. And the hardest was to look in the mirror, and that didn't happen a lot because it was too shameful. So a series of events happened, and I woke up one morning and stopped. It was like a light bulb. And like I had said, I haven't looked back. I did a lot of healing. A lot of stuff came up that I didn't know was there. Emotions and childhood things. I let them come up. I let them come out. I sometimes would be a shattered mess on the bathroom floor. It was messy. It was ugly. My poor, wonderful husband would be scared of what he would come home to, of what, even if I would be here, because it was hard. It was hard, and it hurt, and it shattered me. But out of that, I healed it, and I rose up, and I didn't just survive it, but I say I'm a sober warrior because I fought it. And I'm better now because of that. And I learned so much about myself and what triggers me. It is every day. There are triggers. And I know now I never, ever, ever, ever want to tip that bottle into a glass again. But food, I always have to keep my eye on food now because that's an external vice, and I'll always have to have something, and that's just who I am. And I'm aware of that, and I have ways to cope with it through meditation or journaling. I journaled so much, and I wrote down so much emotion, and I'm actually now transferring that into a blog that I hope will help others. I've channeled it into nutrition and fitness. After I healed inside, I was able to heal outside because I wasn't healthy on the outside either. I was carrying an extra 20 pounds. My skin was in bad shape. My hair, it just wasn't. I always had those bags under my eyes, and the red ruddy from the alcohol wasn't pretty. And but as I healed in and out, I just felt like I was glowing. And then from not having self-worth or self-confidence, I was slowly gaining it, and I was slowly starting to really almost love that person in the mirror. I had horrible anxiety. I was a stay-at-home mom for 13 years, and it's like I spent 13 years just isolating myself from anybody outside of my little safe compound here. And I didn't let anybody in, and I didn't go out. And when I did go out, as long as I wasn't driving, I always had to have something in my coffee cup because that's how much confidence I lacked. I couldn't walk through a grocery store. I would put earbuds in and put my head down to avoid eye contact with anybody because I just always felt I was being judged. One of the things I did was I got a tattoo and I thought it was beautiful, and I would kind of trick my mind to thinking if I saw someone looking at me, they were looking at my tattoo and maybe not me. And the other trick I did, because I really wanted to come out of this horrible abyss and anxiety, but I'm building my body to be strong, and I'm building muscle, so why not put on something that fits in a Ziploc bag and stand on a stage and be judged? So I entered a bikini competition at age 47, and I represented the old ladies. It was amazing, and the person that came out on the other side of that is she's a rock star. She's a warrior, because that was one of the hardest, rawest things I've ever done, and it was one of the most memorable, and I love it. And I think that it was one of the greatest things I did for myself and for my kids, because they saw me decide to set a goal that would blow my mind if I ever did it. And I did it. I stuck with it. I was disciplined, and they watched me not drink anymore and eat healthy and take care of myself. And as the more I took care of myself, the more I could take care of them. And I was a nicer person to be around. I was a nicer wife. I was a nicer mom. My voice. I am in the middle of taking a holistic nutrition, weight loss, wellness, fitness course, which is amazing because now I'm using my mind. So when I finish that, my goal is to be able to help other women become the best version of themselves physically and mentally. It goes hand in hand. We all have that little frightened girl inside of us. And I'll hold her hand and we'll get through it together. And we did. I've often thought, oh my gosh, do I regret this? Am I sorry that I spent 30 years being drunk or whatever? And I'm sorry that I hurt people. I hurt friendships, and I know I hurt my children. and my husband, and I do wish I could take back that hurt, but I do not regret the hurt that I brought on myself, because that's how I've become who I am right now. I couldn't be this person without having gone through all that.